Welcome back to another trail check. We're in the Forest of Dean still and going to take a run down a trail called Ski Run. So it's a double spot orange, so it's more in the sort of red riding zone. So there's a few more jumps, a bit harder. There's no specific gaps. Really nice run. So we'll take a run down it. More for, yeah, maybe those riders who are progressing, wanting to push themselves. Great fun trail, and let's take a run down. So this has got a starting point at the top of Forest of Dean. It starts with some really cool tabletops. The speed that's required for them kind of varies, so it does take a couple of attempts just to get the right running speed for each of them. The third one in particular there is interesting to get, and it's a big pull for the last one. You then disappear into these sort of flat woods. There's a couple of just speed zapping bumps there that you need to try and work over. But once you get past that, you start to get a bit of gradient, and there's a few different line choices. Really good place just to try and sort of set up differently and play with different speeds, how you can approach and exit some of the turns. So at this point, just working the terrain, really trying to pump on some of the backsides. You then get to this little punchy section, just starts to climb up, but I guess that means a little bit more descent on the other side, so it's not all bad. So we're now getting to the road crossing. The track now starts to get a little bit gnarlier. So as we go across this flat section, we'll start to drop down into some fairly big compressions, rough terrain, and this is where you want your suspension really dialed in so that it's not blowing through, especially this bit here. So you're dropping onto the fire road, big heavy compression, but you're straight into this bottom section. It gets faster at this point, a lot more roots, and you're actually starting to corner a lot more. It's been fairly straight up to this point, but now you really need to have the bike set up nicely as you're getting down this lower section. At this point you're starting to tire, but you know that the big compressions there are important, just to try and ride around them or sort of skip over the bumps. We're now right at the lower section, next to the skills park, which is over to the left. Some good points here to just try different lines and setting up for these jumps down to the bottom. So it's a good place just to sort of build your confidence on jumps. There's lots of tabletops. If you don't have a dog chasing you down the trail, which there's one to the left, then yeah, it makes it a little bit easier. Just be careful at that point. There's often people crossing the fire road, but that's us right at the bottom. Really cool trail. Well, Ski Run is a really good track. It kind of starts off, eases you into the track, and it's got a few jumps, but they're not too challenging. You can roll them, and then it gets rougher as you get down and a bit harder. You go over the fire road and then it really opens up. So quite a tough trail.